Hey, Ziegler, kommt daher zu mir geschwind. A schöne Liedele will ich singen euch erzählt. Von a Pastechel heb das Liedele sich on und a Meidele was hat Kischef im geton. Hey, Ziegler, hört, was weiter ist geschehen. Lustig, lebendig, ist einmal das Pastechel gewesen. Heint wie umetig, guck die Schäferlech nicht an. Bengt noch de Meidele, was hat Kischef im geton. Hey, Ziegler, hört von Meisele dem Sof, wie es soll im Lach, blond genit sein Bidne Schof. Tief in Teichale liegt das Pastechel noch heint, und das Meidele sitzt beim Wasser und weint. Tief in Teichale liegt das Pastechel noch heint, und das Meidele sitzt beim Wasser und weint. Hey, Ziegele!
Okay, so Janet, can you start reading the English, please?
We have listened to Mordke Gebertig's song Resela in the past. Mordke Gebertig was born in Krakow in 1885. He worked as an actor in Yiddish theater and wrote for the Yiddish socialist paper Der Sozialdemokrat, the Social Democrat. He performed his own songs in public. A collection of his songs was published in 1920 under the title Volksstimmlich in the folk style.
Go on, please.
A second collection, Meine Lieder, came out in 1936 and sold 1,000 copies. He gained even more recognition in 1938 with his poem It's Brent, It's Burning, which he wrote in response to a pogrom in Poland. He was murdered in the Krakow ghetto in 1942. We've heard several Yiddish songs sung by the Israeli singer Chava, singer Chava Alberstein. She sings in many languages and has an international reputation.
Okay, Golda, can you start reading?
Hey, Ziegler, komm daher zu mir geschwind. Ein Liedele will ich singen euch Sinn. Von a Pastechel hebt das Liedele sich an. Und a Mädele, was hat Kischef ihm getan. Hey, goats, come to me and listen what I have to say. A nice song. I'm going to sing you a nice song now about a shepherd. The song begins about a shepherd and a girl that did magic to him.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Maurice, whenever you want to add anything, just do it, okay?
Should I continue?
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Hey, Ziegler, Herr, was weiter ist geschehen? Lustig, lebendig ist einmal das Pastichel gewesen. Heint wie unmittig, guckt die Schäferlech nicht an. Denkt noch ein Mädele, was hat Kischewim getan? Hey, goat, listen, I have something more to tell you about bright, happy, lively, the shepherd once was. Today, how sad and lonely the sheep look on. He misses the girl that did magic to him.
Okay. Thank you, Golda. Maurice, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to, can you go back?
Yeah, okay.
It was in the third line, it's understood that it's about him heint the umatik is, how sad he is. Cooked the shefela nishton. It's understood he doesn't even look at his sheep. That's all.
Okay. Elaine, I see that you have a question or something.
Yeah, I do. In the first verse, atzind, what does atzind mean?
Now,
Now.
soon.
Oh, now, okay. All right, and also, tsigalech, is that a plural or a diminutive?
It's plural.
It's plural,
I think it's plural and it's diminutive.
so it would be come little goats,
Goats, tzigalech.
come little
Little
goats.
goats, right.
Okay. Okay,
Okay. Michael, can we move? Okay. Rafael, since you have to leave soon, so please read.
Hey, Tzigalech, herd von Meisele dem Sof. Hey, little goats, listen to the end of the little story. Wie Esoimimlech, blungen itzt, sein bidne Schof. His poor sheep are wandering about like little orphans. Tief in Teichel liegt das Pastichel nacheint. The little shepherd is lying deep in the river now. Und das Mädel sitzt beim Wasserl und weint. Und weint. Gebirtik would say weint. And the little girl is sitting next to the river, next to the stream, and crying.
That's the last verse? Yeah. Okay, so.
Cry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to it once again. Elaine, you still want to say something? Yeah, what, Elaine? You are muted.
one more question. I translated the Keef, hold on. Kishu im as enchanted him.
Yeah, so kishuf really means magic, sorcery. Like you have the
She
word.
bewitched him.
She bewitched.
Oh, that's
Right.
better. That's
But
even
the word
better.
for a witch is a machshefa, which has the same root as.
Ah, okay.
There was that
Okay,
play.
I like bewitched.
Right, there was a play, the Kishuf Macherin, the
Got it.
woman who
Thank you.
does magic and sorcery.
Okay, so let's listen to it once again. It's haunting.
Yeah, because it's allegorical.
Hey, Ziegler, kommt daher zu mir geschwind. A schöne Liedele will ich singen euch erzählt. von a Pastechel, heb das Liedele sichon, und a Meidele vosot kishef im geton. Hey, Ziegelech, hört, was weiter ist geschehen. Lustig lebendig ist einmal das Pastechel gewesen. Heint wie umetig, guck die Schäferlech nicht an. Bengt noch de Meidele, vosot kishef im geton. Hey, Ziegelech, hört von Meisele dem Sof, wie es soll im Lach, blongen it sein Bidne Schof, tief in Teichele, liegt das Pastechel noch heint, und das Meidele sitzt beim Wasserl und weint. Tief in Teichele liegt das Pastechel noch heint, und das Meidele sitzt beim Wasserl und weint. Hey,
Yeah,
I
Zuli.
like Chava Edelstein.
Yeah, Zuli.
It's
Can
a
I-
great song, but I think I was wondering, everything I think is in the diminutive. Wasserl, everything, he puts it in the diminutive form. Is that correct? Wasserl, it's like he makes it a more childish kind of thing. I don't know.
Right, right. It's a ballad and,
Little Ziegele,
right.
everything is diminutive.
Right, it's as if.
I don't have the words now, but all of them, I found like so many of them. Is
That's
there
right.
any? Yeah, all right.
I mean, he was he was very interested in all kinds of songs, not just Yiddish, but Romanian songs, Polish, Gypsy, Roma songs, ballads, all kinds of folk things. And so he incorporated some of those things in his own songs.
Right.
Okay, guys, if you want to say something, unmute yourself because everyone is muted. So please, Cookie, I see that you want to say something, but unmute yourself. In the meanwhile, anyone else want to add anything or comment or?
Yes, she sings very clearly. I like her singing.
Yeah.
Does anyone know anything about the singer? She's
She's
spectacular.
Israeli. It's
She's
Chava
Israeli.
Alpert.
She's
She's
very,
very famous.
famous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chava-
okay, one.
my
She's a very
favorite.
famous Israeli singer, extremely famous, both in Hebrew and in Yiddish.
She was here in Houston. I heard her. She
As
came to
well?
Houston many years
Yeah.
ago. I heard her here in Houston
Yeah.
at Bel Air High School.
Is she still
Fabulous.
alive?
Yes, she's still alive
Yeah.
and kicking, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
she's
She's
incredible.
fantastic.
So if you go online and type her name in, you will find many songs in Yiddish.
And that's certainly, it seems like based on a folk, it's beautiful. The music is spectacular.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes, Cookie, okay.
One thing I want to say, she's fabulous. I have learned many of my songs from her tapes many years ago. She's just wonderful. Pascal, what does Pascal mean? In other words, a lot of the interpretation was general interpretation, but a lot of the words there I did not understand.
Shepherd, it means shepherd.
Pastor, the shepherd.
A shepherd, okay.
Yeah.
So-
Rafael, yes, Rafael.
Just a few things about Chava Elberstein. She has put to music a number of lieder which originally didn't have any music. And so
Yeah.
what you
Yes.
think now of as the standard melody is often her melody. She was interviewed many years ago by Alex Daffner of Melbourne for his radio program. And he also interviewed me. And when I lived in Melbourne for a year, and he told me that it was actually kind of difficult to interview her because Yiddish is not her first or second language. And it was kind of difficult to put together actually a full interview, cutting and pasting, where she was answering in Yiddish, which was how his program worked. So her Yiddish is okay, but not really at the conversational level. But her musical ability, of course, is outstanding.
Outstanding. Just a moment, Rafael. What year did you live in Melbourne?
Near 2000.
Okay, so well, we lived before. We lived in 93, we lived in Melbourne. Also sabbatical?
Yeah, it was a sabbatical, and my daughter actually taught at the Shalom Aleichem College there, which is a Yiddish-speaking elementary school. They call it college, but that's what they call an elementary school.
No, we also lived there in Melbourne for a sabbatical, but 93 it was, but years ago. I miss the place. Okay, Steve? You're muted. Still muted. Okay, good.
No, I'm not. You're gonna be sorry I unmuted myself. But no, Chava Albertson, I'm surprised that not everybody knows her. I mean, she's very famous, but she has also written original Yiddish songs. I think we had one when I was first member of the Vinkl here, Mirala. I think is that correct? That was
Maurice?
I don't remember that. I don't remember it. Birale, no.
okay.
Rezele, she wrote, she sang Rezele, but that's a Gebirtig song.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, she wrote that song as well. So she's a very, very talented woman.
Yeah. Okay, Cookie.
I also wanted to say, I met a man who wrote a book of poems in Yiddish. I have it here somewhere. I can't remember. It was many years ago. He gave me the book, and he wrote about his sister who raised him. It's such a beautiful poem, and Chava Alberstein put music to that song. Does anybody remember what the name of the song about a sister?
Die Schwester Chaya by Biram Heller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maurice already sent it to us.
Yeah, we did my Schwester Chai, right.
We did it.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Steve, you still want to say something, or your end is just up?
It would be nice to do the Schwester Chaya again. It's such a beautiful, moving song.
We did it 2 months ago.
I don't remember you doing that one.
Yeah. We did it.
Sorry, I just had my hand up, but I'm always ready. I'm always ready to talk about anything, so you can always call on me. I'm available.
Get online. Get online.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay, guys. So, if no one has anything to add, I think we will move on.
Tell about next Sunday.
Okay, Barbara, please. Yeah, Barbara, please. Yes.
Okay. I imagine that most of you, if not all of you, received Beverly's message that the Houston Yiddish Vinkl will present a commemorative program about Shalom Aleichem, Let My Name Be Remembered with Laughter, this coming Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be on YouTube. We have the link, I believe, in this week's newsletter. And of course, it's in the message that Beverly sent out. And a bunch of us are going to read a wonderful story called Konkurrenten, Competitors.
Just one moment. Thank you, Rafael, for putting everything online, because I took it from there. Okay, go on.
Okay. So anyway, we'll send it out again, I imagine, as we just get closer to the weekend. And please click kvetch onto the link and listen to the story. Mina has brought some really fanciful illustrations to the story. The story is translated in English. That's what you will see on your screen. At the same time, a bunch of us are reading in Yiddish. And we preface it also with part of Shalom Alechem's will, where he states how he wants to be remembered. So please tune in. We look forward to your participation, even though we won't see you.
Okay. Hopefully you will see us. Yeah. Okay. And Michael just put the information in the chat once again, so you will have it.
I'm just wondering why we're not speaking about Israel's Memorial Day. Isn't it?
Because we also don't speak about the American Memorial Day. So I thought, yeah. Okay, Rochale, before we move to the reading.
Since you announced things, I thought we should announce that the Shloshim for Rivka Basman Bet Chaim, it's going to be this Thursday from Beit Levik in Israel, in Tel Aviv. So I can say, do you have this message? Did you get it? If not, I can email it to you.
Okay, email it to us, please. Email it to Beverly, and Beverly will send it to everyone, okay?
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to mention she was a great Yiddish poet, and we all miss her, and a very nice person.
Okay, thanks. Brenda, you're muted.
Wo können wir gefunden das Meise auf Yiddish?
Welche Meise?
Shalom Aleichem.
Ich kann das schicken. Als du wisst, ich kann das schicken.
Dank. Großen Dank.
Ich kann das schicken, so.
I'll put a link in the chat also.
Oh yeah, Michael will check. Okay, I wrote it down, so I'll send it to you later. And there is the link. Okay, guys, so let's continue. Last week, we talked about life and education in the DP camps, and we will continue to do it this week. And there will be some terms like the Jewish Brigade or the illegal immigration that also, tomorrow is Yom Ha'atzmaut in Israel, it's Independence Day, so also a touch that, you know, it was all the things that led to the establishment of the State of Israel. So let's just read what we have. Okay, and I think that we stopped with hier, a ständige Lehrerpersonal. So Hilda, can you read, please?
Sorry, I can't read, Mina, because I have a cold. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, feel better. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Brenda, go on.
Ich habe nicht geprüft, das meiste, aber ich will.
Es probieren.
Ich will probieren.
Es
Okay.
probieren.
Somebody tell me what page it is.
It's here. It's 159.
Thank you.
Die UNIF in UNIF.
No. A ständige Lehrerpersonal. They are talking about. He's talking about the creation of schools in the DP camps.
A ständige Lehrerpersonal is rekrutiert geworden. A personal teacher was was not recommended, but
recruited.
Recruited.
But it's not, it's in the plural. So people, you know,
recruits. Siruv der fahrende Lehrer zwischen die Zellner von der Brigade. So they got Farana. They got teachers between the ich weiß nicht, Zellner. Soldier from the brigade. Bound.
So just a moment, the brigade. So the Jewish brigade was people that were there were Jewish soldiers in the British Army, and it took a lot to persuade the British to form this to form the brigade, because the British were afraid that if Jews will fight in the war, afterwards they will have a claim and they will demand, you know, to get Israel. Remember that the British had the mandate on Israel. So those soldiers, after the war ended, they stayed in Europe and helped with people in the DP camp. So that's the Jewish brigade.
Mina.
Yes.
I just want to point out, a ständige Lehrerpersonal doesn't mean personal, it means a permanent teaching staff.
Teaching staff.
Permanent teaching staff was recruited.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Sure.
Personnel.
So, go on.
Okay, bald is ausgearbeitet geworden, a fuller Schul progress. So
program,
entschuldigt. So then there became a school program mit Hebräische, with Hebrew, als die und der Unterricht sprach, with that was what they spoke
as the main language.
Yeah, okay. Wir haben nicht gehabt kein mixed textbücher. We didn't have any textbooks in the beginning. Aber die Kinder haben, but the children had on Schwierigkeit, without difficulty, by Numen aus, took everything, was man hat sie declared Baal-Peh. So they understood everything and the children took it when they spoke about it.
Yeah, so whatever was spoken orally, they understood. They didn't really need the textbooks.
Men kann sagen, sie haben geschlungen, that they swallowed the Isis, the letters, Porhois?
Isis porches. So otiot porchot is the flying letters, but it has another meaning which I don't know. Anyone else know what it means?
But they ate the letters. They ate up the letters, like you'd say in English. They ate it up.
So just a moment. Does anyone know what Oises porches means? Okay, I tried to look it up. I just couldn't get it. Okay, go on.
I thought it says it meant spouting letters as they came out. Is Porchus sprouting? That was what the word.
Okay.
Später seien angekommen in Lagerbücher. So later in the camp, books came. Schreibgezeig und sofort
Sport. Sport.
Oh, sport, Mechshirim. So the books were about sports, fun.
No. They got books, they got Schreibgezeigt, writing
Oh,
material.
Schreib, okay.
Und Sportmarschieren and sport, how do you say it? Sport utensils.
Equipment.
No. Equipment.
Oh, von Yiddische Welt Congress, from the Yiddish World Congress. Von Central Britische Fund, from the Central British Fund. Von
Joint.
Joint und von der Jiddische Agent, and from the Jewish
agency. So he's just telling from what are the organizations that contributed to establishing the school and getting it off. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Judith, can you try, please?
Are you sure you want me to try? Der
One or two sentences, okay?
Okay. Der Guter Nomen von der Belzener?
Yes,
Schul.
Belzener, that's the place, yeah.
Schul is der gegangen Ferien?
For us.
Okay. The best name? Is that what that says?
Yes, the good name.
From the, I don't know what that word is.
Of the Belzen. Belzen is the place, the name of the camp, the DP camp.
The Belzen School is the, I don't know.
Gegangen voraus was kind of
came around.
Yeah.
Came around.
Reputation. No, their reputation preceded.
Boy. I think that's about it for me.
Okay, no problem. Bob, do you think you can continue, Bob?
I'll try like Judy.
Okay.
Hebräische
Spectacle. It's like spectacles. Spectacle.
Spektaklen Vorstellungen geführt mit viel
yes.
Durch die Kinder Gufer haben gezeugen, ja. Thank you. That's probably it's an English word, right?
Yes.
What's the word?
Enthusiastische.
Enthusiastica. Yeah. Why don't they just say that? It'd be so much easier. Mazen, wie euch.
Hey, someone is talking.
Mazen. Oh, yeah. Mazen, yeah. Mazen, wie euch jiddische gekommen came.
No. The line up. Präsentlichkeiten.
Oh, wie ehrlich. Oh. Persönlichkeiten von der Gore Welt, welche sind von Zeit zu Zeit gekommen kein Belsen.
Okay, okay.
That was
So,
desperate. So,
you want to translate? Ihre
Can you
hebräische
translate?
Spektakel. Sorry?
Can you translate?
Yeah, that's what he's
enthusiastic.
trying now.
Their Hebrew, their Hebrew spectacular, what spectacle?
It's like spectacles and shows.
The events, and
Plays.
and plays. Oh, aufgeführt,
Mit viel Gein.
Aufgeführt mit viel Gein. We're done with great, full of enthusiasm. Gein? What's gein?
Charm. Charm.
Charm. Through the through the children's efforts,
The children themselves, Gufa is themselves. It's Aramaic. By the children themselves.
Haben gezeugen. Never seen that word. Gezeugen.
They drew.
Oh, had drew?
No, like pulled.
Like what?
Pulled, drew like pulled, not like drawing.
Like when you draw in something.
Oh,
Pulled in.
drew in. And into the Mazen.
Enthusiastic. Massen is masses.
Crowds.
Massen crowd. And all as also and also the Jews came to Belsen.
No, and also Jewish personalities, and also Jewish personality from
the entire world.
From the entire
world.
I
missed the sentence. I missed the entire. I missed the sentence again. From the Gara Welt, entire world, which was from time to time up, down, came down to Belsen.
Yes.
Came to Belsen.
Good.
Well,
Thank you.
I had normally I try to do the whole thing ahead of time, so at least
But
I
Bob,
wasn't able.
That's the way, at the beginning, you zerbrach the time, and then it comes more naturally. So let's teeth are broken next time. So, okay, and we are here, yes? Okay, Alvin, please. Hier, das harbe Problem.
Das harbe Problem von Jutumim Schiller ist schnell gelöst geworden. I don't know what this sentence means. Someone has to help me.
We will say, you read, and Maurice, can you translate, please?
Sure. The difficult problem of students who were orphans was quickly solved.
Al Yatumim sind Araber geführt geworden zum schönen Gut von die
Warburgers, that's a name, Warburg.
What is that?
It's a name.
Oh, die bekannte
It's a family known for its philanthropy, the Warburgs.
Okay, so go on, die bekannte.
Go back. I'm going backward. Let me see. Oh yeah, the bekannte
Yes.
was hat sich gefunden in
Blankensee.
Bei
Hamburg.
Blanken, bei Hamburg, hin sind euch rübergegangen, Leder und
Lehrer.
euch sehr.
Okay, thank
I
you.
have trouble with these things.
Okay, no problem. Maurice will translate. Please, Maurice.
Sure. So he's explaining what they did with the orphans. Yisumim. Yisumim sind rübergeführt geworden zum schönen Gut von die Warburgs. So the orphans were transferred to the beautiful estate of the Warburg family. Die bekannte Neduvnen, the famous philanthropists, was hat sich gefunden in Blankenese, which was in Blankenese by Hamburg, near Hamburg. Dahin sind euch rübergegangen, Lehrer und Aufseher. And there also they transferred teachers and custodians.
Yeah. Okay.
They had to, it's a way that they were healing the poor people that survived and lost all their family.
Yeah, especially the orphans who didn't have an immediate family. And so they took them, and then they were sent with Aliyat HaNoar to Israel.
Can you imagine how depressed they were? They must have been crying constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me, were the Warburgs settled in the United States, and that's why they were able to shield these children, and they sent their money and people there to that estate? How did that work?
I don't know, but there is an important branch of the Warburgs in Britain, and there's a very prestigious academic institute, the Warburg Institute, and that's in England.
Yeah. Louisa?
Yeah, there is also, there was a Warburg Bank that could have been connected with them, like the Rothschilds maybe.
Yeah.
But there is or was a Warburg Bank, I think in Switzerland, I think.
Well, there is also a settlement in Israel. It's called Kfar Warburg, so the village of Warburg. So, yeah. Barbara?
Yes, they were prominent in the United States. Also, they were involved with the shifts. They may have been related. I can't remember exactly. And so they were very active as Russian immigrants were coming into the country at the beginning of the 20th century. They were prominent in secular life in the United States, and remained, and I believe remained so. Felix Warburg, David Warburg are prominent American Jewish
I just looked it up.
Warburgs.
Yeah, 20th century Odyssey of a remarkable Jewish family. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So let's continue. Susan, please.
Zum ersten Mal nach Jahren von Neud und Pein haben die Kinder gehabt eine ruhige, unbequeme Existenz. For the first time, after years of need and pain, the children had a quiet and comfortable existence in große und lichtige Räumen, in big and light-filled Räumen would be room?
Rooms, I think, yeah.
Sie haben sich erzeugt in a Yiddish Zwiebel. They were brought into a Jewish neighborhood, und in a guter Stimmung, and in a good mood. Ihr könnt euch vorstellen, wie glücklich und stolz die däusige, heimlose Kinder seien gewesen. You can imagine how lucky and proud these homeless children were, wenn sie haben gekannt, machnis orach sein Besucher, when they were able to be welcomed, when they welcomed.
When they could welcome guests.
Oh, and now they're no longer in need. They are welcoming guests. Besuch speziell their Chaverim von Belsen, especially their friends from Belsen, welche pflegen sie besuchen Sofwoch, who used to come and visit them on the weekend. Die dosige Jesoimim haben nachdem gefunden a Heim in Yisroel. These same orphans, after that, found a home in Israel. Wohin sie seien weg mit Aliyat Hanor, where they went with the youth immigration.
Yeah.
Derweil is der Belsener Lager geworden an emisse Yiddische Kehille. And meanwhile, the Belzer place became a regular Jewish congregation or Jewish community mit intensiver jiddische
Askunis.
With intensive Jewish matters and a center for Aliyah Bet.
So
and a center of the immigration, which was called Aliyah, the second wave. Aliyah.
No. So just a moment. No, it's not the second wave. Aliyah Bet was the name given to the illegal immigration to Israel.
Oh, yes.
So what happened is that, people in Europe, you couldn't go to Israel at the time. The British had an embargo on immigration. The amount of certificate given to Jew to immigrate to Israel was almost nothing. And so what happened was that people from Israel and Europe together, they bought all kinds of boats, ramshackle boats, and tried to get Jews to Israel on these boats. That was what's called Aliyah.
No, I don't think
legal
so.
immigration. Now those boats were a problem because they were in such a horrible condition that some of them, just didn't make it. And when some of them did make it, the British intercepted them, and the immigrants on them were sent, most of them were sent to Cyprus. And in one occasion, the Exodus, they were sent back to Europe. And this caused a huge uproar in the world, immigrants that are sending back, and they were sent basically first to Marseille, and from them they were sent, the French didn't want them, so they were sent back to Germany. And so that really caused a huge uproar. Anyway, the illegal immigration was a huge undertaking at this time. And it was all over Europe, and boats were acquired in Italy, in what was then Yugoslavia, in Greece, in France. And I know all of this because in one of my books I had to trace all the boats that were sent. And the problem with these boats, and there is a difficulty to trace them because they went without papers. The moment the immigrants were on boat, they threw the papers into the sea, so that if the British intercepted them, they wouldn't be able to send them back because they will not know where to send them back. So they send them to Cyprus. So that's Aliyah Bet. That's the illegal immigration. If you want to ask me later about it, you can add, because I spend a lot of time on just researching those boats. And
yeah, Mina.
Yes. Yes, Anita, yes.
I want to say
Yes,
something too.
Aliyah Bet was also in South America, and my husband, actually, he was 13 or 15. He was part of the Zionists in preparing groups, giving them enough instruction so that they could raise up a little house overnight. If the house, if they could make a little house overnight, the English could not take it away. So,
Okay, that's what was called Choma Migdal. That was Choma Migdal. Yeah, you raised the house in one night. Yes.
Exactly. And my husband trained as an electrician and finally didn't go, but it was also in South America. So in Argentina, they were doing that too, preparing the youth.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to say one thing. When we once were on a cruise with a family, they told us that they lived in Cyprus and they brought food to the people who were sent to Cyprus. They used to bring them food. I'll never forget that. It was such an interesting thing.
Yeah, it is. Rochale?
I just want to add that it took Israel a while to have better ships, because my husband came to Israel as a 5-year-old child from Poland, the Gumulka Aliyah, and he said they were on a cargo ship and conditions were not the best. And we're talking on 57, it's already 9 years after, but still things were very difficult. We tend to forget it, but it took a big effort, and it wasn't as good as people understand, and also welcoming so many immigrants at the same time to the land of Israel, when Israel keeps recovering from wars, is not an easy thing.
Yeah, but Aliyah Bet was before the establishment of the
Yeah,
state
no,
of Israel.
I'm saying
It was
that even in
before.
57, the ships were not great.
Yes, yeah.
They were probably licensed, but they didn't have to throw the papers into the waters. But even 57, 9 years later, it was even later. I mean, the establishment of the state is Israel. This is when I'm counting from. This was before. Even then was still difficult, the conditions for the immigrants, for the Olim.
Yeah. Bob?
Yeah.
You muted yourself.
So, how did Cyprus become the repository of all of these wayward ships? What caused them to be that? What was in it for them?
Okay, no, it was nothing for them. Both Israel and Cyprus were under the British mandate. So the British they ruled Israel and they ruled Cyprus. I think they got out of Cyprus, I'm not sure, 57 or 61, I'm not sure about the exact date. But so they just established camps in Cyprus, and since Cyprus is so close to Israel, so they just sent them over there.
Maybe they had an old, some kind of a unit that had been built, that had been used during the war or something that was available. You know what I mean? Some leftover.
There wasn't there was no special unit. It was just the.
No, not a unit. I mean, a place.
The place. Well, I'm not sure.
They could have had a base on Cyprus that they didn't need now that the war was over.
Yeah, probably.
That was convenient. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I think the major camps were near Larnaca, I think. Yeah, Louisa, you're muted.
From my understanding, the only reason was what you said, Mina, that it was just very close to Israel. It's the closest place.
Yeah, it's the closest place, yes, yeah. Rochale?
I just want to share the black humor about it. They said it is so close, if anything else, you can swim over.
You can swim over, yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's, I thought it's important to talk about Aliyah Bet because that's a very important chapter in the history of Israel. And since tomorrow is Independence Day, that's one of the things that, you know, preceded it. So, okay, Susan, go on, please. Einwohner. Hier.
Einwohner von anderen Lagern, Nitzelgeborene von verschiedenen europäische Länder. People who lived in, who residents of other camps, people who were saved from different European lands und zurückgekommen von Russland, who came back from Russia, haben sich rak gezeugen kein Belsen. They all came, you were drawn to come to Belsen. Viel von die neue Belsener speziell die gekommene von Russland, a lot of the people who came to Belz, especially those who had come from Russia, haben mit sich gebracht Kinder, brought children with them.
Okay, Susan, thank you. I'll just, someone else can also read. Thank you, Susan. Rochale, go on. You're muted.
Manche von die dosige Kinder haben schon afilo gehabt verendigt ihre elementare Erziehung. Manche זה הרבה? Many?
Some of.
Oh, some. Some of those children already even finished their elementary education. Also yarum die nooit voor gymnasie geseder geworden dringendiker. So this is how it became necessary.
The need for the
Pressure.
need.
No, it became a need for a high school, a regular gymnasium. אני לא בטוחה, I'm not sure about dringendiker.
Became more
pressure.
Pressing.
Pressing.
More pressing. Became more pressing.
Pressing, right, okay. Es ist nicht gewesen leicht zu schaffen an Gymnasium. Huh? Someone is saying something?
I don't know. Okay, go on.
Es ist nicht gewesen leicht zu schaffen an Gymnasium. It wasn't easy to make or order to operate to establish a high school. Dazu und die jüdische Brigade zu jener Zeit gedacht verlosen Belsen. That's why the Yiddish brigade.
No, dazu and in addition.
In addition? Oh,
I think so.
Addition?
Yes, in addition.
Okay.
Cause.
Okay, in addition, the Yiddish brigade to those times.
At that time,
had to leave Belsen. Aber bewusst kann man nicht dergleichen mit Idealismus und Übergebenkeit. But what can you not
reach?
Achieve.
Reach.
With idealism and over something.
It's
devotion.
Devotion.
With devotion? Okay, Adam. Geografielehrer in der elementarer Schule hat gelegt die Jesuides für die Gymnasie mit der Hilfe von einem feigen Offizier von der Brigade. A teacher for geography in the elementary school laid the foundation for the high school with the help of a enthusiastic, maybe, officer from the brigade.
Skilled.
A what?
A skilled.
Skilled, thank you. Es ist gewesen a Schul mit a Farnem. It was a school with a, I kind of know what is Farnem, but I'm not sure how to translate it, with devotion or taking to heart or what?
A purpose.
Is a purpose?
Yeah.
לכתחילה haben sie rekrutiert stam Jiden mit Ideas und sie verwadelt in Lehrer. In the beginning, they would recruit just Jews with knowledge, and they verwadelt.
I think engage them, or they became
engage them in Lehrer. By the way, I have an older cousin that's exactly what happened to him. They were in Russia. They were managed to escape Poland to Russia, and then they joined the camps. I'm not sure which one, but it's the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mina.
Okay. Yeah,
Mina,
yeah, Maurice.
It's a little bit funny in that the line at the top about all these people who came out of the camps and were coming back from Russia. Haben sie Ratgezeugen kein Belsen. I don't think most people had a choice which DP camp, you know, you're coming from.
No, I don't think they had a choice.
Oh no, I'm going to Belsen. I mean, I don't think they had a choice where they ended up.
No, they didn't have a choice, but this is, you know, that's someone's memoir.
Yeah,
so, you know,
right, that's right.
When you are dealing with memoir, you have to take everything with not a pinch of salt, but as many of salt. So
I think maybe he took it for granted that we understand it's a choiceless choice, because we're supposed to know the Jews had nowhere to go.
Yeah, maybe because, you know, it was written in 57. So, you know, it was still very fresh in the mind of people. So,
yeah, but if you're writing from your story inside the camps, of course, you would have felt like, here we are just barely coping with who we have, and they're sending all these new people to us.
Well, when my parents came back from the Soviet Union, they just went wherever they were sent. They went to
right.
Yeah, same my parents.
They didn't come in and say, oh, I'm going to Belsen.
Tell me where the best camp is. I'll go there. Right?
No, it's not. It's where the best food is. That's what it is. The best food is. Yeah.
Can I say something? I feel very emotional to it, because it's a miracle for those children who were orphaned and went through the horror of the Shoah, and suddenly people do whatever they can to help them out. Can you imagine that? This is like, wow.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Being busy, that's one of the things that it keeps repeating. Most Jews were not preoccupied with nekume, with revenge. They were busy with rebuilding their life and make it good as much as possible, and give a chance to those children.
Bob, you wanted to say something or ask something? I see your hand is up. No, just up. Okay. David, can you read David Katz?
Ja, es ist, no.
Yes.
Ja, es ist. Es ist gewesen eine schwere Malocha zu führen die Schule. It was difficult to a type of work to run a school. Die Lehrer haben gedarf unterrichten von Koren. The teachers had to work, I guess, basically work from memory, on Bücher. Aber sie haben sich angesteckt mit dem Enthusiasm und mit der unglaublichen his Mode von die Schüler und seinen geworden sehr schäferisch. But they were very, infected, I guess, with the enthusiasm and with the unbelievable Hasmoda, how would you say?
Persistence.
Persistence of the students, and they became very creative. Bemschik von a kurzer Zeit ist ausgewachsen a voller Personal und qualifizierte und fähige Lehrer, und die Lernprogramm hat rumgenommen Tanakh und moderne Hebräisch, Mathematik, Englisch, Chemie, Latein und alle andere Fächer. So in the continuation, in the course of things, after a short period of time, the school developed Weizgewachsen into a full personnel, full staff of qualified and capable teachers, and the education program included Bible studies, Tanakh, modern Hebrew, mathematics, English, chemistry, Latin, and all the other subjects. Fächer. A Bibliothek ist zugegeben geworden zu der Schule wie euch ein Gesundheitszentrum mit ständiger Schuldoktor, Gymnastiksaal und a Spielsaal. Okay, so a library was added to the school, as well as a health center with a full-time, a continual school doctor, gymnastics center, and an athletic center, a play center.
Okay, thank you, David. Now, for the first time, let's hear Mariv.
Okay. Mit Recht ist die Schule angerufen geworden. Gymnasia aufgenommen von der Jiddische Brigade. With right or rightfully, the school was named or called or designated as the Gymnasia named for the Yiddish brigade. Die Kantine, wie die Schüler haben gegessen, hat gedient die elementare Schule und die Gymnasia. The cafeteria or canteen where the students ate served the elementary school and the gymnasium. Mit der Zeit seien die Doseke beide Mostes herumgenommen geworden durch a gemeinsamen pädagogischen Rat. With time, both these institutions were united through or by a shared or common pedagogic board or council. And I got a lot of help.
Bravo. Bravo. We will continue doing it.
But hopefully it'll get better.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Louisa, go on.
Yeah, I have a question, if I
Yes.
may, before we go on. When we, in the previous paragraph where they're describing the subjects that they were studying, we have Hebrewish, Mathematica, English, Chemie, Latin.
Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latin.
So,
So der Geist von Harmonie.
So let's see where we are now.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
Der Geist von Harmonie.
Der Geist von Harmonie und Zusammenarbeit in Lager ist geseder gepflegt geworden durch ein Zentralkomitee. So there, I don't know what the Geist would be.
The Geist, the spirit.
Spirit.
Harmony.
The harmonic spirit.
The Geist von of harmony.
From the common work, right?
Work together.
From working together in the camp was
always.
It was handled through a central committee, right? Central committee.
Yes.
Welcher hat sich geseder damit zu helfen alle Gruppes, which had as a norm, the purpose of helping all the groups.
Yes.
Die fromme Gruppe hat gehabt ihre eigene Schulen. The religious groups had their own schools.
Yes.
A Talmud Toire, Talmud Torah,
Yeah.
a yeshiva, un Zivui, would it be? Zwei Beit Yaakov, Schulen für Mädelach. So they had their own shul, several shuls or shulen, Talmud Toire, Talmud Torah, a yeshiva, and 2 Beit Yaakov schools for girls.
Until now, there is Beit Yaakov schools for girls. In Israel too, there are many Beit Yaakov schools.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
In Brooklyn too.
In Brooklyn too? Okay. I don't know Brooklyn. Yeah, good.
It is religious, remember.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yes, it's ultra Orthodox.
Yeah.
Only they're called Beis Yaakov.
Beis Yaakov, yeah. Okay, go on,
That's the
Yes,
Yiddish.
or the name of Jacob.
Yeah.
The only reason I wasn't sent to the religious school was because my Tat is gewesen karg. Und scheinbar zahlt für die Bochers zu gehen zu Yeshiva, hat uns Mädel, dein Gott, ich bin ein Mädel in that house. I was able to go to regular English school, aber später hat gesagt, ich habe gemacht das Toes, ich habe gedacht, schick die Mädel auch, weil sie, how do you say, bring up, the Kinder.
Yeah.
Ja, sie hadden, ja, sie hadden de Kinder und sie sind de Mamas, habe ich sie gedacht schicken so. But thank God I didn't go there.
Okay, go on, Luisa.
Die Tätigkeit von die verschiedenen Gruppes hat hereingebracht Leben und Farbe in Lager und stimuliert a gesunde Konkurrenz. What would the Tätigkeit be? Aesthetics?
The activities.
The activities of the several of the different groups brought life and the farb.
Color.
Color, that's right. Thank you. To the camp and stimulated healthy competition. Die Konkurrenz hat euch geholfen, entwickeln und demonstrieren Talenten auf die Gebieten von Kunst, Schachmatt, Sport. So the competition also helped entwickeln.
Develop.
Tell me?
Develop.
Develop and demonstrate talent on the Gebieten von on the part of the clients, would it be?
No. Kunst is on the Gebiet in the areas of Kunst is art.
In the areas of art, chess, and sport, right?
Yes.
Die Englach und Mädelach von die Schulen haben euch Anteil genommen in verschiedene Jugendbewegungen. So the boys and girls of the schools also started or participated, is it?
Yes.
In several youth activities, would it be?
Youth movements. The youth movements, like Hashomer HaTzair, like Gordonia, that were active in the camps.
Yeah. Trotz die Wikuchim und der Konkurrenz seien sie alle gewesen vereinigt und ein Geist von Chalutziut,
Yes.
was hat dominiert das Leben und Inwelsen. So trotz would be apart from?
No.
In spite of.
Despite, yeah. Lamrot.
Despite, okay, thank you. Despite the arguments and the competition, they all were vereinigt, would be busy.
United.
United, that's right. United in, I would say, a spirit of being halutzim, being pioneers, was which dominated, was dominiert das Leben in Belsen, which dominated life in Belsen.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you. Zuli? Zuli, can you read?
Can I ask a question quickly?
Yes, sure.
What is Gemeinsamen? Gemeinsamen. It was earlier. I couldn't find it in the dictionary for some reason. I mean, there are answers, but I'm not sure which one.
Where is it?
Geboren durch
Gemeinsamen pädagogische.
It was in the part I read.
Yeah.
We found a shared or common.
Common. I think a common.
Yeah.
A common, yeah.
Mutual.
I would translate it as through what it appeared to be a pedagogical.
No. Gemeinsam means they were shared an education.
The high school and the elementary school were united together into a.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's continue. Zusammen mit die. Zuli, you're with us, yes?
Yeah.
Go.
Zusammen is that me? Ja, zusammen mit die allgemeine und religiöse Leipzigische Mostat hat ich Belsen funktioniere größer Artschule.
Okay, so translate.
Ortschule. Together with all of the religious upbringing. I don't know what Mastut is.
Mosdot is institution. So together with the regular and the
religious
institutions, Mosdot is institution.
Institution in Belsen. It function with a big school.
So, just a moment. Ort was schools for, that children were sent to learn a fach, to learn
a trade.
A trade. We had
originally
school was very, very important.
Yes,
and very big.
Okay, so originally it was established in Russia in 1880s, and
really?
Okay, go on. Unter der Schiller
ob in der Dostiker Schule sie ausgelernt Malche unter der Leitung von Camp Tente Instruktoren. Under this school, they were learning. They are learn a trade. Under the Leitung, under the direction from the camp Tente, the camp manager, or
for competent instructors.
Oh, a competent instructor. Torah und Arts. Der ganzen einer the Torah, and I don't know what their hearts is.
Derech Eretz is kind of, behaving yourself in a nice
respect.
Oh, Torah and respect were one of the under in vermehrende Charakter und Schmieden in Zukunft from the younger mention in Belsen. The traits that and the other things that were form the character and Schmieden, I don't know, and personalities. They
No,
would
the Zukunft and the, how do you say it?
Future,
Yeah,
future.
Oh, the future from the young people in Belgium.
Okay, so just a moment. Elaine, yes, I see that you raise your hands.
Yeah, can you scroll back to the prior paragraph? There's a sentence that I got the gist of it, but I really would like starting with Hunderter Schiller.
Hunderter Schiller oben in der Dosiker Schule, hundreds of students in this school sich ausgelernt am Meluche, they learned a trade unter der Leitung, under the leadership von kompetenten Instrukten, of competent instructors.
Okay, so Doziker, what does Doziker mean? This?
This, yeah.
Mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Luisa, yeah?
Doziker is this.
I have a
Doziker is
question.
this. Yes.
Yeah, but it's often with another, like der Doziker, so it's like this very or this actual or this specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, it refers to what was said before, meaning such or previously mentioned. That's what it means. So what is their Zierische,
Der Erziehung is
Upbringing.
Education.
I believe there still are Ort schools.
Yes,
And used
there
to
are
be-
still.
it was a women- It was a women's organization throughout the United States. Ort was, we had it in Houston. They raised money for the schools. And I think they're still in existence.
Yeah,
It's a
there are
women's
still our
thing.
schools. Yeah, Luisa, yes?
Yeah, there is still a very important, I think it's now even connected with the university in Buenos Aires, but.
Yeah, it's one of the best high schools and graduate schools
in Buenos Aires.
in Buenos Aires.
They have a website for the international organization. Interesting.
Okay, Rochelle, finish it, please.
Okay. Andere?
No, sei seinen zugegreift.
Sie seien zugegreift geworden
Produktiv.
Productive
productive Leben in Israel oder anderswo. They were readied or prepared for a productive life in Israel or someplace else. Tausende Jiddische Männer und Frauen, thousands of Jewish men and women, welche seinen nutzige Bürger und viele Länder. Lots of people who are citizens of different lands.
Useful citizens.
Useful Bürger und in vielen Ländern, many lands, seien der Zeugen geworden in Belsen, were raised in Belsen. Sie seien alle stolz auf ihre Yiddishkeit und kennen alle Hebräisch. They're very proud of their Yiddishkeit and they all know Hebrew. Belsen, der Friediker Symbol von nazischer Arzoria ist geworden der Symbol von jiddischen Aufkommen und Geistigkeit Renaissance nach der Milchoma. The town that was the something of the
Previous symbol. The
Cruelty.
previous symbol.
Cruelty.
Symbol of the Nazis became
Cruelty. Nazi cruelty.
Nazi cruelty became the symbol of Jewish courage.
Oifkum is like resurrection.
Okay.
Rising up.
Rising
up and spirit of Renaissance after the war. Their symbol.
Oh,
Excuse me?
sorry. I was going to
Yes.
say Afsoluchus, just because, in spite of.
Yes, their symbol von Nazien.
No, Nitzuchen.
Nitzuchen von Sefer über Sefer. Sefer über Sefer. I don't know what that means.
So the symbol of victory from Safra is from the book of over Sefer is a sword. So the book over the sword.
The word over the sword.
Yeah. So like learning over
fighting. Yeah.
Over fighting.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Exactly. So
Right.
that's it.
What's the second sefer? Samach, zwei Juden, zwei
Pei and Aleph.
What does that mean?
It's Aramaic. Seifa is sword.
And what does it mean?
Sword.
A sword.
A sword.
The English
Sorry.
would be the pen is mightier than the sword. would be
Exactly.
Yiddish.
Sorry about my pronunciation. I tend to do the W's. So, okay,
It's
guys.
learning over fighting.
That's right. Very good. So we're done? That's the end?
Yeah, so that's the end of it.
It
We are
sounds like
done.
it was such a
Thank you.
wonderful place, but anybody I've ever actually talked to about the DP camps, they were crowded, they were dirty. Yes, there were people striving to make lives, and all of this is true, but there was a whole nother side that's not depicted in this story.
Well, there were
Yes,
many,
you know.
there were many DP camps, a great many over a wide area. They're talking about this one specific camp.
Right.
You know, and perhaps time has also made it less
Yes, exactly.
less horrible.
That's a memoir. So we have
Yeah.
to understand it's a memoir. So, yeah.
Also, many people married. They met each other there and married.
Yeah,
In
my
the camp.
parents met each other and married there, and had a child there. Yeah, exactly like they're saying. Married, had a child, went to Israel. Exactly, you know, it follows the storyline. Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud here, how much the Jewish organization knew to locate all the camps where Jews were staying, and maybe not every camp got the same funds.
Well, that's I don't know. That's you know
That's a very
about it
complicated
because of
issue.
what she
Yeah.
said earlier.
That's
What?
like Steve said, that's a complicated issue. I imagine I imagine that there are, you know, studies about it, but you know, it was I really don't know. That's really complicated, yeah. Okay,
No,
see that
I'm just wondering because how do you find them? How do you know? It's not our time.
What, the camps? They were,
Who's
you
where?
know,
Like how many
You need
Jews
to
are in
call
what
the
camp?
Jewish,
I think
לסוכנות היהודית.
the
If you
joint
want, contact the סוכנות יהודית. They should know about it.
I think they knew because, you know, at the beginning they were under the army, you know, it's either the British or the American,
Russian, the French.
or the Russian or the French. So those camps were under the army rule. And then they established self-rule and, you know, and they got all this. So
The camps were liberated, and as they were liberated, they had to have some kind of organization to just help these starving people, you know.
You know the סוכנות? That's the organization.
The
הסוכנות היהודית.
The Jewish organization, it's called.
Tag is in.
Okay. Louisa, Ellen, and then Marie. Louisa.
Yeah, I have a comment of what we're talking about now, but I also have a question about the Aramaic words in the story. What was the word of gufa at the
Gufa.
What is
Gufa.
the meaning of that?
The meaning is in itself. Gufa is in itself.
Okay,
Is it the same root as goof?
Yes,
body?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
thank you.
itself.
Thank you. I wanted to comment. My mother was...
Just a moment. Okay. I just want to say something to Maurice. Maurice, next week I'm bringing something that adds some, connection with the bund. If you can send the shvua.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, because I know that if Maurice
Sure.
is okay. So please.
there was also the joint, because my mother was liberated from a camp at the end of the war, and she ended up in a displacement center of the joint. And basically what happened was it was word of mouth for the most part, that the Jews, who were obviously not one person isolated from another in those circumstances, they looked for one another, they found one another, and it was word of mouth. And my mother ended up sleeping on the floor in a joint, some kind of a joint refuge, and she was found or heard about a friend of hers who had been saved with a sister, and they had I think they had 2 or 3 dresses that they shared, one dress for each person. And she ended up going to sleep to some room where the other 2 sisters were sleeping together, and they just put together 2 chairs, and she was sleeping on 2 chairs for a while. So they kept looking and finding one another and solution. But the joint was fundamental, helping Jews move.
Yeah. Okay. Ellen?
I think if you were an orphan, like my mother, or my father, or my uncle, I don't really know that not that it didn't matter where you ended up. My uncle actually was part of an orphans transport for under 16-year-olds that went to England. What's his name? Gilbert. He's some kind of historian, wrote a book about them, the boys.
The kinder transport.
No, it was not the kinder transport. This is after the war. Yeah, they were trying to they could never find 1,000 living orphans that were willing to go to England. I think they finally found like 700. And my mom was an orphan in a DP camp. You had to go to the camp where she was liberated by Americans. So she went to the American sector. But I don't think it really mattered. The bottom line is who you were with when you were an orphan. Those were the tightest bonds that you had. Those were those people almost became like the family you lost. And I think that I know for, those were the lifelong friends that you kept. So not really sure, it's great if you were in a camp like this person was in a DP camp. My mother was in a different DP camp. It was okay. The ORT was there, joint was there. My uncle was in England, where they ran out of funds for these kids and they had to kind of find a way to make a living. But whatever it was, they became your displaced family forever. Those were the people that replaced your family, and those were the tightest bonds you had. So wherever you were as an orphan, I think.
Thank you, Ellen. Marie?
So again, I want to really thank you, Minna, for finding this and sharing this. It's such an eye-opener.
Yes.
And I really think it should get translated into English and other languages to be more available. Somebody should do it. What I learned that I didn't know, first of all, that so many of them were orphans. Of course, it makes sense, but I never think about it before. And then how much of an emphasis there was on schools and education Of course, the writer was probably involved with those, so he talked more about that, but still, it was because they were now saving the youth and also getting ready to send them to Israel. So makes sense that there would be a big emphasis on that. And the other thing, sadly, you know, as if we have need another reason to feel unhappy about the Europeans at that time, is that the help all came from other Jews, not the German government or other European governments, right?
Well, the German government at the time was in ruins, so
Right. Yeah, but still no other Europeans or anybody.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Also the European. Think about Europe after the war.
Right.
It was in ruins.
It was a mess, yeah.
And I think that the local governments were doing, you know, first we're taking care of our own people, and then of the Jews. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to find out now what happened to the gypsies. Did they form these little organizations within their, you know?
I don't know.
And who did they get help from? Anyway, interesting that it was Jews that came through, right? Yeah.
Interesting about the gypsies. Yeah, that's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
I have to check and see.
I mean, there were a few left after.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. They were murdered
I know.
in huge masses, just like
but there's still gypsies in Europe, so a few managed to get out, right?
Yeah.
Rochelle?
People traveled from camp to camp looking for each other. I know my father went from Germany to Poland by bicycle and on foot looking for my mother, and he finally found her because they were married just before the war. And he went to Russia with his brother, and he never came back for my mother. The intent was that he would kind of scout it out and come back, but he ended up in a labor camp. But the Red Cross was also involved in helping people find each other. And my mother had 3 brothers, and the first one was in Germany after the liberation. The second one was in Poland, and they didn't find him until the early 50s. And then one in Russia behind the Iron Curtain that they didn't find until the late 50s that he was alive. So, you know, even families that did survive, they didn't necessarily all reunite in that time frame.
On Jewish Gen, they're still finding each other. There's stories on Jewish Gen every year about, you know, after 40 years, they found it's still happening.
Yes.
Yeah. And just think about the chaos that was Europe after the war.
Yeah, nobody had papers. Nobody had identification. When I went back to Germany, I got my birth certificate because I was born in Augsburg. I just had papers, you know, with my parents' name on them and the little announcement in the Yiddish paper in Germany of my birth, but I didn't have a real birth certificate of any kind. My only identification papers were when my parents became citizens. I became a citizen.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I don't know how they managed that. But that was my only ID, no birth certificate. So, but they did in Augsburg have handwritten, and they copied and sealed the birth certificate for me. So I have an official German birth certificate, but I didn't get that until much later.
But think about it, all those people that came to Israel after the war, they didn't have a birth certificate. They didn't carry it with them. So, you know, and what's interesting is that a lot of them just declared birthday just out of the blue, you know, or something like this. So it's no papers, no nothing. So, okay, Rochale.
It's very true. I know a few people like that.
Yeah, my mother was like this. I don't know why she did this, but you know, I don't know. She made herself younger with 5 years. So no, because I think they were afraid at the time that if you are older, you know, that Israel accepts only young people. It was kind of, you know, misinformation was running around. So
Right.
Yeah.
They told you to make yourself younger, even people who came before. And then when the Social Security came,
Yes.
I had to do that for my uncle because I had to show how old he really was. Because when they came, they said, Zuga, say that you're younger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was the same in Israel. I don't know why, but it was the same.
I
Anyway,
don't
sorry,
know why.
Rochale.
There is a reason why they said that, but I don't know what. Maybe to go to the army. Maybe.
Before I say what I wanted to say, I'm curious to know what is the birth date that your mother chose?
My father never knew my mother.
No, she just something in December.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know someone that chose the middle of the year, June 15, because it's kind of in the middle.
No, it was something in December. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I wanted to share with you, we talked about gypsies. It reminded me that both of my daughters were in exchange program in Spain. And after they finished, we had this idea to travel with them. And we were supposed to be in some kind of a bed and breakfast. There was some kind of a mistake. And they took us to a small hotel, motel, I don't know. And there were quite a few gypsies over there. And it was very interesting because they did recognize that we're from Israel and they knew, you know, like it was such a interesting, nice way to get to know them, not seeing them in the street, just see them in a motel. You know, it was different because you had to share the shower, the bathroom. It was an old place, you know, so it was interesting. We had some conversation with them. The last thing I want to say is, I know it's a little bit early in America, but in Israel, it's already the Israel's Independence Day, and we're not going to see you tomorrow. So I want to wish everyone a happy 75th Israel Independence Day with all the issues, because
with all the issues, yeah.
Yeah.
With all the issues.
Am Israel Chai.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sameach, everybody.
Yeah. Cookie and then Marsha. Cookie, I saw you. Not an X-rated story.
Whoever put my name up there, somebody put my name up. It's up correctly. I don't know who did it, but I want to thank him.